This is getting super excited. I'm here at a very exciting location to test out the Mavic 4 Pro as a first flight. This is a sort of a place where they harvest, I think it's limestone. And it's very, very unique in the southern part of Zealand. So this is the perfect location, to fly the drone and hopefully be left alone and away from people when we are performing this test. So look at this. And I'm right now using the maximum capabilities of this new drone from DJI, and it's capable of shooting 6K up to 60 FPS. So that's a lot of pixels to cram into your recordings. And I think the video files from this drone, they will be huge, I would assume. So look at this place. This is pretty nice. And it seems every time that I'm out testing drones, I'm either getting disturbed by people or I'm heading into strong wind. And hopefully it's the last part that will be sort of the dominant thing here. So, and wind shouldn't be really an issue with this drone, as it's really, really strong. It's a strong drone, at least by the looks of it. When you see these DJI products, you kind of think, when you start seeing the leaked pictures, you kind of think, can this really be it? It looks kind of odd and the design is strange and stuff like that. And I had the same feeling here with the Mavic 4 Pro. But when you get it into your hands, it's a completely different feeling. This is really, really a powerhouse and probably the strongest triple camera setup that we have ever seen on a consumer drone from DJI. So let me just show you a little bit about the capabilities here. That's another thing, is it has so much power on board, so it will stay up here for a long time. So if we go into the menu here, you can see there's a lot of options here. You can shoot up to 4K, and there's all the other resolutions. There's the one like a cinema one that's cropping the image so it looks cinematic-ish. It has 916 if you want to shoot vertical videos. It has 4K, and you can go down to 1080p if you don't need that much resolution. Also, you have all the options here from 24 up to 60 FPS. I would say, I don't know, maybe you can tell me why you would ever do like the 60 FPS with a drone, because at least these type of drones here, and not the ones, let's just do a little bit in 4K 30. These drones, they are usually flying pretty slow in the air. They're like filming cameras, and there's not so much going on in the image, so I can't really see the justification and the larger file size for doing 60 FPS. So we just stay here for a second here, and then I'm gonna show you the real strength of this triple camera setup. So the main camera that I'm just using here, that is a 28mm equivalent, I think it is, and that is the one that is labeled Hasselblad. So this is based on a micro four thirds sensor, so that will be really, really strong in low light, being able to capture a lot of light. And then we have the 70mm. See, that goes into a factor 2.5. So if we do a little, and you have to remember, these are optical magnifications, so there are basically no loss when we are doing this. So that's pretty awesome. And then they have included a 168mm telephoto lens, and that will provide 6 times magnification. Again, it's optical, so you are basically lossless when you're doing this. But of course, we can get really, really close with this drone, because each of the cameras, you have a digital zoom range. And if I'm picking the one that is the Hasselblad camera here, so you can see how far we're actually away. But it's going to be even more crazier than this. Just wait and see. So if I take the Hasselblad camera, the one that is the 28mm, and I'm zooming in here. So we zoom. I can zoom into 2.5 times. So that's pretty nice. So if I switch to the 70mm, I can extend the zoom range here up to a factor 6, I would assume. And remember, these are digital magnifications, so they are of course not lossless, but it's still amazing. And now you're going to see the most amazing part. And that is if you go to a 168mm telephoto lens. And we're going to do the zoom here. Oh, let's start the video. We do the zoom here. Look at this! 24 times zoom. And the image is rock steady, even though that the wind is really crazy right now. So look at this. Now I'm jumping back to 1. So now you can see how far we are away. How crazy is that? But what if you wanted the full zoom range from 1x to 24x? And that's actually possible because there is an Explorer mode here. So if I just go in here like this and I record, so see, I can zoom. See, zoom. So now it's changing to the other camera. And now it's changing to the other camera. So that's one continuous zoom here. So to 24x. So you can zoom in and out with this. How cool is that? And they call it Explorer mode. So that's when you're gonna say, okay, I want to check out this place over there, or maybe I want to check out, I don't know, this place over there. What's going on over there? So we've got to zoom in. We've got to zoom in to find out. So see. Good Jesus, man. This is really, really close. This is very, 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 very close. Whoop. If we zoom in like this, see, we can almost see if there's somebody who was sitting over there and drinking a coffee. We could see what type of biscuit that he was eating. So see if I go back. Whew. How far I'm away. This is a spy cam on steroids. There's no doubt about that. How cool is that? And the gimbal, so it can tilt a lot more than the usual one, but we need to get closer to the ground to take full advantage of that. So yeah, so we have all these recordings. So right now we're just doing 6K 30 as it is right now. This one has a variable aperture on the main camera, the main Hasselblad camera that has a variable aperture. So we can basically change that. We can go down from 2.0 and up to f11. So that's super nice. But if we just look here in the menu, whoops, you can see we have the 4 color profiles that we're used to having with this type of drones. Let's just bring it back in auto just to make everything a little bit simpler here. So we do like 5 seconds in the normal mode. Can select the D-lock. And that is really flat. Look how flat that is. So. And just to make things a little bit easier when you're in the field, there's actually the possibility to enable a color display assistant. That one will help make everything look a little bit nicer. Okay, so it unfolds the pro settings if we're doing this. So that's kind of interesting. So we do the D-Lock M. So also we're using the color display assistant here. So it looks a lot better on the controller here than it is compared to, just show you. So if I take this away, you can see it's getting flat and gray. But this is only a visual help when you work with the controller, as the footage will look desaturated and you will have to do something about it in post to be able to use it, especially the log format. That one was pretty crazy. So let's do a little bit of HLG here. We can pixel peep a lot around with these settings to optimize those, but this is just to give you an impression where we are with the drone. So let's put it back in normal. And as you can see, if I select one of the other cameras, maybe the one with the super magnification, you can see you still have access to all the color profiles from that camera. Also, if we select the medium telephoto, you see, you go into that one, see, you also have access to all the color profiles. So that's nice. So if you decide to shoot your project in log, then you can do it with all 3 cameras that is equipped on the drone. And now we're getting attacked. What What is attacking us? Nobody is attacking us. Nobody dares to attack this drone. So this, see this water? This is it's beautiful when it's sunny. It's really, really beautiful. How nice is that? That looks nice. Let's just back off here. Back off! So, in case you're wondering what this option was that we just had, let's just put it in auto here to make it a little bit similar. This is C4K. See, if I put it like this, you're getting these cinematic bars on top of, it's basically just shooting in a different format here. So it looks almost like a movie. Look at this. So, very, very beautiful. So my plan is to extend this first flight video until we're running out of battery, so you have a chance to sort of get an idea how well the flight time is holding up under strong wind conditions that most of us sometimes are forced to fly under. Just want to show you the excessive movement that is possible with this gimbal. Get it down here. You can see what it is that I'm talking about. So we have this nice machinery here. We don't want to mess around flying in the gaps and all that stuff. If I move this way, see, I can move the gimbal up. So that's pretty excessive, I would say. I can maybe make it go even further up. See if I have something we can use for that purpose. No. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Yeah. This one. See? So I can basically look straight up. So that's pretty crazy. So maybe can I go in there? Maybe that's not such a good plan. So, see how far I can go up. Look at this. So let's get out of that before we destroy something here. So I was under this, this excavator here, and then I could basically tilt the gimbal up so I could look at the boom that's on top of it. So that's actually quite crazy, I would say. So it should have a lot of sensors that would help it avoid different obstacles, but I'm not really sure that I'm comfortable enough on the first flight here to put those to the test. Maybe I need to go to my father's place and do this the tradition that I'm doing with new drones, going through the place where all the trees are in his garden just to see if it can navigate around it. It's a pretty tough job as it is right now because there are no leaves. What are we crashing into? No, we're not crashing into anything. Why is it reacting on the side? I don't know. The sensors are picking up on something. I don't know what is. Maybe it's a bird that's trying to take down the drone. Hey, bird! No bird! See, I just want to show you something here while we are doing this. Because if you have a hard time flying around like a building like this, so this is just a building, selected area too small, then you can use the spotlight function. Look at this. So you can do something like this. And if you find this very exciting, then you can do fly back. And the gimbal will just stay locked in. Yes, go up. Maybe it's not, with this scenery, it was not the most exciting motive that I could have selected. But it's nice to be out here in the back because there are no people. Even though the whole plot down there is closed for business as it is right now. They're not working because it's the weekend. it's still open for people, so they can go and visit and walk around. And because this is a C2 drone, we need to be a little bit careful about the overflying uninvolved people. That's why it would be nice just to stay out here in the back. And because we have this extensive zoom range, we can still see what's going on. Yeah, there was something else over here that was exciting to see. This is like an eye that's over here. That's interesting. So if I just mark that, and we are flying closer. This looks like an eye. So, see, I can cheat. Of course, it's not so easy when it's losing a lock on the subject. But if I just put down the gimbal like this, so it's shooting perfectly down, go down in the widest possible angle here, and then try and go in here. Unfortunately, we can't go higher than this. But look at this. This looks like a big eye, like a lizard. So, let's film it. So, we can do very, very nice filming here. It's funny with all those shapes that nature they creates. Yeah, maybe it's man-made, this one. I can't really say. It probably is, but still it looks kind of nice. And we are getting towards the end here, so it's getting a little bit. I would say it's a little bit bright here. So let's just do the 6K again, see if that changes anything. No, it's not. So we need to underexpose it a little bit here. So that looks a lot better. Very, very nice. So that is a lot better. So let's just do a little manual point of interest here. See if we can make that as smooth as possible. This will definitely be my new workhorse. There's no doubt about that. I think I'll get rid of some of the other drones that I have. This is like a Swiss Army knife. Apart from the problems with dealing with the overflying of people, then there's a little loophole, a little gap that you can utilize, and you can put it into slow speed mode. Then you can fly a little bit closer to people. Otherwise, if you need to use the normal speed, you are forced to keep maybe 30 meters. I believe I can recall that it's around 30 meters that you need to keep as a safety distance to uninvolved people. So if you're going to use this drone inside the city in the EU, this is going to be a little bit not so easy. But you have a ton of flexibility with this drone, so it's amazing what kind of camera capabilities that you are getting with this one. So it's maybe we should use the time here in good company. We don't want to fly slow mode to do like a top-down thingy on these excavators. We have enough time to do that. So just fly over here and get down. Gimbal tilt reached. So stop. That could be nice. So we do. Those clips are always really, really nice to include in your shootings. And you can do like a variant where you go down and then you put a little bit of yaw on it as well. So in this way you're getting a very, very nice clip that can be included in your video projects. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! We don't want to go inside there, so I guess we are getting, I don't know. So so the threshold for when everything stops is a lot lower. Maybe we should try and fly a little bit low to the ground here. I'm approximately 1 meter above the ground. That looks awesome. But it also limits the speed I guess it's because it's seeing all sorts of obstacles here. It's flying really slow now. Why is it flying so slow? Get back to me. Get back. Get back. So now we're getting the return to home. Cancel that for now. So that happened at around 30 minutes. So now it's coming back to me here. Let's just see if it... So now it's starting to make noise. So it's the obstacle avoidance system that prevents it from doing anything here. Low battery, low battery, low battery, low battery. So let's just... Oh, yeah. Man, you're loud. Let's just see what happens. How far we can push it. Because it's actually still flying, even though it's making noise. So even though it's making noise, we can still fly it. So now it's saying 12%. So we are landing it when it's saying forced landing, yeah? And right now we are at 31 minutes and 15 seconds. Hello. So now it's meaning now it's now we're talking serious business here. Man, this is loud. So I guess there's some sort of an override on the volume button here. Now it's at 9% now. We're at 32.23. Take me down! Take me down! So now it's doing forced landing. But we can keep it up. See, we can keep it up. Still. But we don't want to take the chance here because that would be utterly stupid if we lose the drone because of this. So, but I do want to put it in a flat spot. It's not too dusty. Too late. So 33 minutes and 14 seconds. Okay, more or less. Deduct maybe a minute. 32 minutes. Let's say that. Hey, it's huge. It's such a huge drone. It is. So let's just close the door here. So this was the first flight with this new fantastic drone here. And if we just take a closer look here, you can see you have the Hasselblad camera here on the top. You have, let's just turn it off, just for the sake of it. Let's see here. You have the Hasselblad camera on the top. You have the medium telephoto lens. You have that one here. That is a 70mm, and then you have the 168mm. You have that one here. So. And this is the gimbal design that I talked about. So when we did this, where we flew under the excavator, it was basically doing something like this. See, it has a lot of movement. So it can basically go from this position where it's looking inside the drone body to the other position where it can also look inside the drone body. So that's amazing. So, also, I do want to show you something. So let's just pop in another battery here. So this doesn't feel right. See here. when I boot it up. So what I wanted to show you is that it actually turns the camera. You can turn the camera like you can with the smaller drones. So look at this. So it puts it on the side. So that's actually super nice as well. So I'm not really sure if this roll motion with the infinite gimbal where it rotates like a barrel when it's flying forward was available at the point of time where I took the drone out for this first flight. At least it was not very clear to me how to get this function enabled, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other YouTube channels that will take you through this gimmick. It's pretty cool, and we'll probably see it in a lot of videos out there going forward, and I will cover it separately outside this first flight video. So I'm sorry, this part was not included. This is a crazy product. A lot of sensors here. I don't like these props being so close to my face, so I could have taken them off, but let's just turn it off. So see, it has protruding obstacle avoidance cameras on the top. It also has a similar set on the base down here, and it has another sensor here on sort of the front of one of the arms that will allow it to detect obstacles. So it's a really well protected drone, but it's also a very heavy one. So what do you think about it? Now I had a chance to see all the footage that I made with it, so yeah. Should probably have taken some photos as well. I decided, because this video was already pretty long, to take out the photo part and put that in a separate video. So very nice, very nice. It's a huge drone. Huge drone. See how we put this on. Maybe I will learn it. Okay, there's this tab that needs to go into, and then you position it so they are covering the arms, and then you need to put the props in here, and then you need to lock it below the DJI logo. So it's yeah. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's less easy. So I hope you liked and enjoyed this video about the Mavic 4 Pro. At least I enjoyed it a lot making it. So if you liked it, then feel free to give it a like. If you didn't like it, feel free to press the dislike button twice. Thank you for watching, and I'll be seeing you on the next one.